Before this long overdue video starts, I'd like to highlight my Rate Your Music profile in the description. Never mind Rate Your Music being a great site to keep log of your album scores, they also allow you to make lists and such, and with that I made a list ranking all of the 2018 albums I've heard. I'm continuously updating the list as I hear new things that evolve my own opinions. I won't be making videos in relation to albums I've heard, so if you're curious, the post will be at the top link in the description down below. Anyways, let's get this mostly irrelevant video out of the way. Okay, I think I need to clarify something. And it's not because anybody called me out on this opinion or anything, because no one did. I expressed that I think Meant to Be is in fact country. I want to establish that I don't actually like that being true, because as a pop song, it's okay at best. But in the broad sense of what was considered country music even 4 years ago, it isn't even remotely a country song. Especially when your performers don't give a flying fuck about the genre. Florida Georgia Line, of course, are the meat-headed buffoons who are most well known outside of Meant to Be for their other top 10 hit, Cruise. But I'm not going to use that song as a way to back up the argument that they don't care about their genre, because back in 2017, they performed at the Country Music Television Awards with the fucking Chainsmokers. It's not even like Last Day Alive was a single or anything, because it wasn't. But they said, yeah, we'll perform at the CMT Awards with these EDM guys and their EDM song, because who the fuck cares anymore? But putting those meat-headed jackasses aside, Bebe Rexha somehow makes me madder. And you all need to remember that I liked Bebe Rexha. She made my 2016 best list twice, but fuck is she inconsistent. Just on making an album alone. She frequently talked about making it in 2016, then 2017 said the album was going to be in parts, leading her to drop All Your Fault Part 1, then Part 2, which of course included Meant to Be, and then she said a Part 3 was coming in early September, but then Meant to Be started taking off, so literally under 2 months later she announced that Part 3 was scrapped entirely, and then Expectations dropped months later, and literally everything from the 2 EPs besides Meant to Be and I Got You were scrapped entirely. But that's just to prove that she goes back and forth a lot, so it's not too surprising that she said she didn't make country in relation to the controversy about Meant to Be, just to say under 2 months later that she paved the way for artists to jump to country. Fuck you. Ignoring all the history that shows how fucking gross that statement is, you made a pop song with country singers on it, and since that blew the hell up after your label put it on country radio, along with pop radio, that doesn't mean you have influence in either genre. Because you are certainly not the artist to get this new, mostly pop-leaning, not even country music in the top 10 off of both pop and country radio in the past 2 years alone. No, Sam Hunt beat you there, I just charged into a brick wall. Body like a bag. Driving with my eyes closed. Despite my currently unseen revisions, this is still one of the worst hits from 2017, and for damn good reason. But I don't put songs on my list out of principle, mainly because I don't entirely give a shit about principle. But if that was a factor, this might have ended up even higher, because Body Like a Backroad is indirectly responsible for Meant to Be even being allowed on country radio. And if there was anybody in country that shouldn't have made a huge splash in the pop world, it was Sam friggin' Hunt. Since my 2017 worst list, I listened to Sam Hunt's debut album, and yeah, it fucking sucked, but there wasn't a song like Body Like a Backroad on that album. Don't get me wrong, there were songs on that thing I utterly despised, but I'd honestly say that most of it was better than Body Like a Backroad is. But with the sales figures Body Like a Backroad continuously got, it's not a huge shock that country and even pop radio got involved. And since Sam Hunt was already well known in country music, no one at country radio had a reason to bat an eye, and it ended up becoming the longest running #1 song on the country charts. And guess what? Meant to Be passed Body Like a Backroad's record a while ago. It sat atop the country charts for 40 weeks straight and counting after debuting at #1. Never mind how aggravating that is to me, it makes me more mad to see country fans act like this shouldn't be considered country when they were all singing along to Body Like a Backroad less than a year ago. Now, Body Like a Backroad may have tried to hide the fact that it wasn't considered country more than Meant to Be, but quite frankly, both come across as being the same level of country. And now that both of those tracks are the longest running country #1 hits, country's in a really bad spot. You have people like Maren Morris being on an EDM song, and even the most country artist you could think of, Chris Stapleton, was featured on a Justin Timberlake track, and both of those country artists achieved their first Hot 100 top 10 hits because of those. Now, all of that isn't to say that actual normal country music isn't doing anything, because it actually is. There's currently 6 to 7 country songs projected for the 2018 year, and as opposed to last year's 6, that number excluding Body Like a Backroad, and especially the 2016's 3. But all of that gets overshadowed by shit like Meant to Be being at #1 for 40 plus fucking weeks. And with all that success, other artists are gonna try to cash in on this country trend. And I can only imagine what corporate hack of an artist would even dare try to make the first move. Oh, come on! as you probably know by now, I'm a huge fan of Camila Cabello. It came absolutely out of nowhere for me, but once it clicked hard. I always liked Bad Things, sure, but when Crying in the Club, and more specifically I Have Questions, came out, my status as a fan stopped being dormant and I became a full-on huge fan of this girl. And that only got amplified when Havana came out. And I really don't need to talk about Havana again. I already have 3 times now, and with the 2017 and 2018 year-end rankings, I'm far from done. And about a month ago, I saw Camila Cabello live on her Never Be the Same tour, and it was fucking awesome. But towards the end of Never Be the Same's run, I guess she decided to start pushing a country remix of an existing song from her debut album. I assume she'd maybe be making one for She Loves Control, since that was what the fans really wanted as the next single, although I could see all these years of Consequences working in a pop country mold, but it was a Never Be the Same remix, and that announcement wasn't a shock for me. I watched a lot of Camila Cabello interviews, and she mentioned that she wanted to do this before. And since the song was topping radio when this version dropped, releasing a new version and strongly pushing it on fan-controllable platforms is actually quite a smart idea chart success-wise. But with how well Havana turned out, I'm sure she has the cash and artistic vision to make this fantastic, so alright, Camila Cabello, show me what you got. This is literally the same fucking intro. Am I even listening to the right version?
Must have gone wrong in my brain. Got your chemical.
Oh, you've gotta be fucking kidding me. This is your idea of a country Never Be the Same? All you did was slap a shitty electric guitar into the mix, and that's a genre change for you? No, that is not how that works. Do you think that a little twang and a country singer is all that it takes to make a country song? Because it's not. Meant to Be being what is considered country now doesn't mean you can just add one barely country element to your song and have it magically be country now. At the very least, you could have had a country artist on this. That would have made your argument a little bit better.
In LA when the lights are low.
That was hyperbole. Okay, this is Kane Brown, arguably the biggest name in real pop country music right now. With his song What Ifs making the 2017 year-end list, and his 2018 single Heaven cracking the top 20, and it has more than enough points to safely make the 2018 year-end. With how weirdly big he is, I can't say I'm surprised he was the one they chose for this remix. Alright, Kane, what are you contributing to this?
Off of one touch, I could overdose. Stop playing it safe, boy, I wanna see you lose control.
Really? You really just gave him Camila's second verse, which was 2 sentences. You just shoved him in almost as poorly as you did that guitar. Whatever, at least he's taking one of the pre-choruses away from Camila.
Nicotine, nicotine, morphine, suddenly.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm a fiend, you're all I need, all I need.
This is somehow worse than the original pre-chorus. I don't even know how she did that, but she did it. Sure, Kane Brown's using his low range, which is far better than Camila's consistent high range, but those ranges just do not blend. And speaking of Camila, I have no idea what they did to her voice on the chorus, but there's this vocal effect cheaply layered onto it that makes it sound ridiculously worse.
It's you, babe, and I'm a sucker for the way that you move, babe.
What the hell happened? The chorus is fucking phenomenal on the normal version, so how did they manage to make it sound this much worse? Did anyone have any artistic vision when making and mastering this version? Because I don't fucking think so. And knowing Camila was a part of this just makes me feel disgusting. I didn't even think she was realistically capable of making me this mad. Seriously, you think you can trust someone and then one day you just go into your basement and bam, what's hiding there? Your favorite Japanese candle just sitting right in front of you. I mean, who would even do such a thing? Listen, I'm having problems at home, and that's not the point. This version of the song vaulted Never Be the Same up to #1 on the sales charts, and it was also the reason this song managed to crack the top 10 of the whole Hot 100. Obviously, I want Camila to be successful. I love most of her music. Seeing her on tour was honestly one of the best nights I've had in a very, very long time. Easily the best day of 2018 for me, hands down. But I'm sorry, I can't support this. But there's a silver lining here. Never Be the Same never charted on country radio, or the country charts as a whole. So at the very least, the mainstream country scene won't just pick up anything with the absolute lowest amount of a hint of country in it. But there's still a long way to go. May I remind you that Meant to Be has been topping the country charts for 40 plus fucking weeks. And even when it eventually gets unseated, there's a chance that a genuine country song will never be able to break its record. But I gotta hope something will somehow do it. And to any record label or big artist out there who thinks they can manipulate the country charts and get yourself one of the biggest songs in the charts history, go fuck yourself.
I'll never, ever, ever be the same.
Good night, everybody!
I finished the initial script for this video back in May, so I'm sorry that it's only just coming out now, as Never Be the Same almost leaves the Hot 100, but hey, better late than never, I guess. But again, thank you guys for watching. My name is Andrew Prep, and I'll see you guys sooner than later, hopefully.